Last night, I was watching that '70s show reruns, eyes heavy, and a mind in a daze. I was starting to fall asleep when I woke up to what I thought was a loud by the patio door. The chocolate chip cookie I was halfway through slid off my hand, somersaulting down my torso, as this noise brought me to an awakening twitch. Just an animal, I thought, or the house settling. Eric Foreman is so goofy. Donna is way out of his league. Eric is lucky. I like this show. Back to sleep. This time from the ceiling, I shrieked. What the hell is that? This time, I sit up, with upright posture, like I'm ready to focus on any minute detail that strikes my senses. I turn the kitchen light on, just out of a general state of fear, without really any concern about anything actually being in the kitchen. I check the back deck from the thump from before. That's super weird, I think. Nothing else happened, and I started to relax. I'm not really worried at this point, but still a little bit on edge. I'm a college student, spending the summer at home with my parents, working in downtown DC. They went to the beach, and I'm home alone in this rather large house. It's 10:36 p.m. Seriously? I think. Now again, if I were on the set of a horror movie, or had been watching something scary for that matter, I would have drawn an immediate connection between the thump noise and the door knocking unusually late at night. But neither of these things applied to me at that moment, so I didn't. I was still kind of anxious though, from those thumps. But when the door knocked, my attention immediately forgot about this noise. That was likely nothing to worry about. Probably a salesperson, or a mailman. I remember one time a few years back a UPS man rang our doorbell at like midnight to drop something off. I was the only one awake, so it scared the shit out of me then. Maybe it was something like that. The most likely scenario would be my buddy Frank, who considered coming over but said he was too tired. He can be a little spacey though sometimes, so I guess he could have changed his mind without telling me. I guess I'll go over there and at least tell whoever the hell it is that I'd like my privacy. Unless it's Frank, of course, who I will then remind how spacey he can be. Though I am weirded out a little bit by the situation, so I grab the first thing resembling a weapon I can get my hands on. An old lacrosse stick. I hold it from the head, with the shaft facing outward, kind of like a lightsaber. As I turn the corner to my foyer, I see through the door side windows a pair of skinny legs with odd, worn slippers. Alright, this is a little weird. That's definitely some skinny chick. Maybe she's confused, trying to visit a friend and knocked on the wrong house. The house next door is about the same size, and doesn't really look a lot like mine, but I don't know what else this could possibly be. All of this enters my mind in the matter of seconds between my footsteps in the kitchen and the doormat between the front door and the rest of my home. As I stand between the large modern door and whoever the hell is out there, I lean my lacrosse stick on the ground behind me so this stranger won't see it. As my hands float hesitantly towards the doorknob, I hear a voice coming from the other side of the door. No clear words, just the light whispers. I assume someone must have been there with the slippers girl, because I haven't even opened the door yet, and as far as I can tell, this person hasn't even seen that someone is home. Unless she's talking to herself. That thought didn't calm my mind at all, though. My hand stopped frozen in midair, about halfway between the rest of my body and the door, like I was doing some weird robot dance move. I waited for several seconds, disturbed by the odd synchronization between my movements towards the door and the voice outside. I wait longer. No more voices. I take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. I open the door about 3/4 way, quickly, like a toddler, anxious and curious to discover the monster in their closet. I stick the right half of my body out, facing 2 dark feminine figures on my front porch. The first thing I notice is those beat-up slippers. I look up from there, my head and neck tilting upwards to see the rest of her. Straight black hair, uncombed, matted in different directions. She looked sickly, shaking in the cold, with a hooded sweatshirt and tiny khaki shorts. She's about 5'3", and looks 13 years of age, staring straight forward, which for me, at about 5'9", standing on a raised surface above my lowered porch, is at my pelvis. In the dark, I cannot make out the features of her face, but could tell something about her was awkward. The way she stood there, off balance, her neck tilted to the side like a chewed up, overused doll. Before I could react in any way, I observed her partner, about a half a foot behind her and to her left. A noticeably younger girl, maybe 9 years old, but with about an inch on her older sister, wearing a ragged dark blue skirt, black pants, and rain boots. She had similar black hair, though she didn't have the same bizarre demeanor as her sister. I look down at these 2 girls and have no idea how long it's been since I opened the door. Have they said anything? What do I say? This is fucking weird. Can I help you 2? I muster out, in the tone I typically use talking to kids, but without an undertone of chill in my voice. I stutter some when I'm nervous or excited, and here I could barely make out a word. Hello, sir. Please, we're cold, and we would like to use the phone, the younger one says, her head facing straight forward. Her tone, it was like nothing I had ever heard. It was feminine, sure, but each word left her mouth fully independent of the one before, like they were just words being spit out of a machine and placed in the correct order by a third party. Almost like a robot. But she was clearly human, a young girl I am speaking to, yet somehow very, very off. She didn't sound her age. She sounded at least 14, maybe 15, but she looks no older than 10. Why did she speak to me and not her older sister? What's going on? Is her older sister shy? Mentally handicapped? Am I dreaming? And what does she mean about using my phone? It was like she was speaking off script and mixed up her question. Did she mean to ask me something else? Not sure how to respond to this arbitrary question I manage. Well, I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you 2 lost? First, nothing. Just stares. Straight forward, directly ahead, as if with no visual awareness. And the younger one. Please, sir, we are alone and need to call home. Let us in? Her response, with the same monotone voice, didn't really answer my question. It was like she was speaking without any concern over what I was saying. Just when it was time for her next line, and the last part, let us in, like a command, completely separate from her prior, polite, candid requests. Trembling in fear and confused, with a strong sensation telling me something was horribly wrong, I said, I'm sorry, but I cannot let you into my house. You will have to just stay here while I grab a phone and call for you. And I couldn't leave these two kids just stranded out here. But I knew. Something in the pit of my stomach just told me. I couldn't let them in. I was scared shitless. And the two just looked straight forward, not responding. And suddenly the older one, who is yet to move or say anything, changes her expression completely. She squeezes her fists as they shake at her sides, as if in great pain, and without moving her pale face or neck, makes a smile, showing all of her teeth at once. They were sharp, inhuman, like an animal's. At this point, I made an obvious loud scream of terror. The younger one notices my fear and looks up at me. And her pale face, her eyes, blackness. Pure black, no clear iris or retina, just like two black marbles. I then notice her silent, smiling older sister's black eyes as well. A grotesque nausea floods my stomach, closing in on me, choking me. I am frozen. I do not manage a scream. I can't. I'm lost in my fear. My entire body speeds up, tingling and numbing. And finally, after what feels like several minutes, I let out a noise of horror that I don't think I've ever made, as I close the door in front of me and retreat to the safety of my home. My body is still shaking, and I stand, crying and trembling in front of my door. I needed to reach my cell phone, which was in the family room. I can still hear that '70s show in the background, which brings me some relief. But it sounds off now. Foreign, almost like another language in my fearful state. I need to call the cops. I can't let them in. Get the fuck out of here! I yell while banging on the door in an attempt to scare them off. Undiscernible sounds come from the other side, like animal cries or barks. It doesn't really sound like the younger girl. I know it isn't. I know it's the older girl, the silent, mentally off one. But I can't fathom this. Fuck no. I need to reach my cell phone, but I can't move. I can't lose track of them. I can see the slippers in the side window, and I know she's still there. More animal noises come from outside. I scream, yell, bang my lacrosse stick against the door, anything I can get out of my tired lungs and muscles. I felt like I was being attacked by a grizzly bear. I was in full-on survival mode, doing all I could to scare them away. But any noise I made was matched by the older girl, with her disturbing barks and screams that to this day haunt my dreams. Then, from the other side of the door, I hear a muffled, "We just want to call our mother," from the younger girl. "Please, we are scared and alone. Let us in. Let us in." And the last part, "let us in the exact same cadence, twice over like a recording. "Please let us in," like a chant. "Let us in," the younger girl continues, each command louder and more assertive than the one before, as the girl's noises match her demands. I wait for any sign of safety, or of this horrible nightmare coming to an end. I continue screaming at them until it finally stops, the noises and the chanting gone. The slippers are gone. I look out my window. Sprinting legs, the older girl, running the speed of a male track star, with her legs twisting over each other like a circus freak. This is so fucked up. I see her trail off, catching up with the younger sister, who must have been given the orders to leave while she stayed for a minute or two barking, screeching and yelping like a Neanderthal. I watch as the older sister finds her younger sister, waiting on the other side of the road. I stand there, not looking back at my house, staring straight ahead the other way, like they are waiting for something or someone. And suddenly, a large, wiry figure walks towards them. Long legs and arms, and lanky, inhuman features, with the shape of a woman, but far too tall and awkward in form. Like one of those scarecrow-like animation figures from a Tim Burton film. This creature, or better yet monster, leads them away into the night. I did not leave my front door the entire night. I didn't sleep, and I barely have since. Close family, my girlfriend, and my friends want to believe me. They say they don't think I'm crazy, but I feel like they don't really believe me. This is actually so fucked up. Whatever it is and whoever they are, it's real. They're like these subhumans trying to take us, or have us join them. I don't know. Whatever it is, they create this energy of fear and terror like nothing I have ever experienced. I lay awake terrified that when I open my eyes, that older sister will be outside my window, hanging from a tree, smiling at me, and barking, waiting for me to walk outside and leave the house. And it's been a few days now and I've managed to leave, at the request of loved ones. Each hour that passes I do feel a little more safe. I know this sounds like something out of a horror movie, but it's really fucked up and the realest shit I've ever experienced. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'd really like to know what you guys think about these black-eyed children encounters. They seem to have started happening in the 90s, even though some stories do predate that, even going far back to the early 1900s. They seem paranormal in origin, which makes it seem kind of weird that they would only recently start being seen and not be an older, more well-known story. But if you like this video, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back real soon with a new video for everyone. Until then, I'll see you at the witching hour.